Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, we're gonna go over a game between Annie Wang as white and Arena Crush as black. This was a very important game. Excuse me, one second, I got something in my glasses. There we go. I get like a particle. I had like some particle there. It was right in my vision area. So, and this was very important for Annie. She had to either draw or win this, and of course she won this. So d4, knight f6. Let me see here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's had to just check that out. Okay, gotcha. Everything's good for hosting. Okay. Ooh. Oops, we got the wrong one. This is Ray Robinson, not Annie. I'm sorry. But so she played d4. Arena played knight f6, and then c4. e6. Knight c3. Bishop b4. Queen c2. And c5. D takes c5. And queen c7. Let's see what the computer said. Okay. So it likes e. So if there. Okay, knight, then castles, bishop, and then basically knight either there or here. Depends on what white wants to do, and then you have that attack there. But she played, and then e6, bishop takes c6, c5. Sorry, bishop takes c5. Knight f3, a6, bishop d3, and preparing to castle and get the other bishop involved. b6, b3. Now she's solid. There's no infiltration. If this was played here, she would just take right there and then have a point of like right here, and then if queen takes, bishop takes, oops, sorry, knight takes, because you want to save the you don't want to take with your king because you want to save the right to be able to castle. And if he castles here, then you castle and you're pretty much safe. So b3, bishop b7, bishop b2, e7 from Arena, castles d6. So they're cementing rook f d1, and it's like, what's she doing here? And what she's doing is she has good time management. Excuse me. I'm not saying that Arena does it. I'm just saying though that a lot of the players get into time problems, and she has extra time, and they make inaccurate moves. Maybe not blunders, but inaccurate moves. So bd2. The second rook comes in. Now all the pieces are ready. That's developed. That's developed. Just in case this ever gets played here. Now you have that. And if that's taken, see what she's got right there, right on in there. So c5 was played, bishop e2, so that's open for an attack now. Castle kingside, knight d2. She was like solid as a rock. there was nothing that was going to move her any. And so Irina brought the rook over to prepare basically d5. Bishop retreats back to a1, which was an interesting idea if you think about it. It prepares this push. She just wants to be solid. Doesn't want to give Irina any room for an attack. AC8. So now this is kind of a predicament. Bishop f3. Bishop takes, and then knight takes. Now, if you think about it, Annie has, it's an equal position, and she was okay with unequal position. You know, she wants to trade off. If that gets traded, then it's closer to an equal game. More likely rook would take, now that we think about it, and it's better for white slightly. So the knight retreats. Irina doesn't want to draw. She wants to go for the win. She needs the win to kind of even stay in the thought of having a chance at becoming the U.S. champion. So e4 was played. Knight d. Rook c. And this is a really interesting idea potentially there. b5, rook g3. That is interesting. And then potentially you have f4 after you move to h1, and then you have there e5 was played. That stops all of the counterplay. e3 to guard that. d8 to prepare here. Rook e1, rook b6, rook d3, and it's all, they're starting to maneuver their pieces. Potentially back here is going to be an idea. Potentially you'll have maybe she'll move the king, push up, double up here, and then maybe move the knight, and then have a battery on the pawn there. c5 was played. Bishop c3 to stop that from happening. h6. Queen f3. This is actually slightly better because it stops the bishop. Then you play there. So this actually helps if you think about it, white, because now white's has more targets. There's a target here, target there. The rooks are well placed. So d8. It moved from here back. h3. So now there's a flight square for the king. She's also passing the move to Irina, trying to say, what are you going to do? Can you make any progress in this position? Are you willing to offer me a draw? h7. And then queen g4. That's an interesting idea. That's trying to provoke that. And then you come back, and now what did you really accomplish with that move? So you kind of have to think of that. g5, g3. Now there's a threat of h4. That kind of weakens, because then you can go there. Now that's weakens. So potentially that would have been a slightly better of an idea. Pawn takes, and now you're eyeing that pawn there. and very complicated. So just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. F1 was played so that she could prepare that. E6 was played. King H1, getting out of the pin. That's one thing you have to realize, that you don't want to stay in a pin sometimes, but sometimes, like Maurice Ashley says, you can actually set up a combo by walking into a pin. So just be careful. F3 is played. Knight comes in, Arena's trying to get her knight to the optimum spot. Rook's up. H5, it's like trying to come here now. D3, working the position. H, she takes B, A takes B, and rook to bishop attacks and moves there. Takes, and then this is where they were saying that Arena found the correct move sequence, but Annie actually slightly blundered here. Not a big blunder, but slightly. This is actually best. You're going to kind of lose that. So here, and so it's not real fun what's happening, but you can survive this. So, but what she did was just pass the move. That was an interesting move. That was not the best move, and the best move for Arena would have actually been here, down, rook comes over. If pawn up, then here, there, queen takes, and the Arena has the bishop and knight versus two rooks, so it's actually better. But she miscalculated and actually went rook takes c4, and that actually was the neutralizing move that actually sent her into kind of a spiral. Because at this point, once you take and then you play your rook, this actually centralizes this move, centralizes the queen. Which now, if this queen takes, you actually, let's see, yeah, I'm not gonna take. Sorry, that was a bad move. Like, let's see here. I guess that's what the computer wants. And some sort of infiltration, and basic. You'd probably want to move the. You'd have to bring the bishop back, but you kind of get the idea. This actually helped Annie, because now look how powerful the queen was. When it was over here doing nothing, these two pieces were doing nothing. There was only one piece that was protecting the king. What Arena should have done was either try to gang up on the bishop, or transfer the pieces over and start a kingside attack with the knight, queen, bishop, and something like that. That's something kind of what happened in it was Nakamura's game versus Sam Shankland. He had Naka locked down in the position, and what he should have done was excuse me, there was a way of executing, have actually to win the game. But if he didn't really want to do that, he could have just left the position with a ton of tension, and then transferred his pieces over to the other side and started an attack over there, because there was enough tension on the king side. You guys probably already saw that game, so You know what I'm talking about. Bishop d8. And now, that was an interesting move. Taking is actually best here, because then now you're threatening to trade off and kind of neutralize the threat of the idea. Something similar to that. Now it's kind of a neutral game, so the bishop actually came to a2. Bishop a7, sorry. Queen h4. Best is actually rook here. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy, whatever you do. Remember, Annie's on your back rank. She's about to, you know, she's going to have to come back here, and basically you'll get a draw. But if you get greedy and you take, not good. The queen, this pins here, and the bishop's actually pinned. So now you can do what Annie did. She dropped queen f8 on Arena, and it was like, yikesies, yikesies. We do not like that. And then, of all things, she played bishop to c. What she needed to have done was get her rook involved. Forget about this bishop for right now. And so what? It plays there. Look what happens. The queen potentially is trapped. It has to trade off now. And yes, you're down the queen, but remember, you're able to save it because now you could play here. And the attack that Annie would have had on Arena would have been neutralized. But she got really concerned with her bishop, and it costed really her the game. It started a spiral down. The rook comes over, and a7, king h2, and then a4, which I never understood that move, because you have to be very on tune with this type of a move, because you're in a pickle right now. And this move right here is coming down the pike. If that can be stopped, if you can jam a bishop in there, you then have won this, and you will have a winning, not just a winning attack, a crushing attack. I know I'm emphasizing that, but it's just like an obliteration attack. There's the bishop coming in. Queen e6, rook b7. Now the pressure is piling on. I don't know what she was thinking when she played this. It was confusing me. I was just like, huh. Then after that, it was game over, because there's no way to stop mate. You can kind of delay it with just like throwing everything you can at this. You can delay the mate, but it's gonna happen. So when that was played, she resigned. Best play would have been knight here. Trying to crash through. And I don't think there's really any way to continue. Now, it's all about restraining. There's mate. Now that we went through that game, I wanted to take you to a game that was the longest game supposedly in U.S. Championship. It was one of the longest ones. 140 moves. It was between Ray Robinson as white and Varakobian as black. And so I wanted to show you guys this right here on that. And it actually came down to, surprisingly, a knight and bishop versus a lone king. And so it was 140 moves. I was like, whoa. But I took you to the critical point where there's a bishop and knight versus a rook, and we're going to see how this arises to where it just comes down to these two pieces here. These two pieces. So, and we're just going to go through. And from here, I believe you just push the pawn, if I'm not mistaken. Something similar to that could have arisen. There, and yeah, at this point, that was a slight inaccuracy by Var, and he lost a pawn there. Knight e3 was a mistake. Should have played here. More likely that's probably a good, oh, right there, yeah. Let's see here. You could just take. And then now what you're doing is you're working your way around. And then you queen. And basically you win. So, but that knight move right here kind of delayed what was inevitably going to happen like that. Yeah, Var thought that there might have been, after he lost, that there might have been a repetition around here somewhere. Very close, but Ray was one move away from kind of that. Now the king gets in, and this was Var's sitch right here. Like, because I think if Var would have taken here, taken, I think he's too far away, and so he'd lose. Yeah. So he can't really take. Now there goes the pawn, and e2. Here comes the pawn now. And then in comes the queen. And then now this is just maneuvering time. So it should tell us we need to keep up, even though they say the knight and bishop mates aren't important. Here it proved to be very vital to Ray's victory. C2, knight comes back, bishop goes there, and you just put the pressure on, king comes up. Actually, I believe he could have potentially came over here and kind of had the same type of sitch, if I'm not mistaken. And then what you can do is play bishop here, and you got to be careful that you don't stalemate, so you have to leave a spot. You can actually play there, here. I'm trying to remember how this goes, because you can actually play either here or here. More likely you play there. That's kind of because you're guarding these 2 points. Then if he runs, I believe you move your king, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And he tries to come here, and then what you have to do is remember you want to build a barricaded wall around the king. So let's say he goes here, so you're wanting to make sure that you stop that. So I believe that's it. I haven't done this in a while, so I gotta make sure I did that right. Okay, that's the move. Okay, because that's covered, that's actually, he could come here, and then what you do is you build a wall. That's right, because that's guarded, that's guarded, that's guarded, guarded. So he really has only 2 points to go to. And let's say he comes up here, you just tighten the net. He comes over, you actually bring your king, comes over, bring your king, comes up, bring the king, comes up. There's a multitude of ways of doing this. You have to maneuver around to here when he's there, and then you can actually checkmate there. So there's a couple ways of doing it. There's this is actually the most. Let me see. I'm trying to see. You could play here, you kind of just waste a move. And then what you do is he comes here. Oh, wait a sec. I think I might have. I think I gotta get. This is an interesting sitch. I gotta remember how to do this. Yeah, I believe that's it. Then you come there. Yeah, and then what you have to do is come around here. Yeah, here it is. I gotcha. That's right. Okay. Yeah, there. That's it. Because you have to get your bishop. My teacher taught me that this is kind of how you want your pieces to be with your king there. You want your bishop here, and you want your knight here, and your king there, and you got mate. You have to also remember you can't really checkmate when he's here, because it's not the same color as the bishop. You need to walk the king over to the color of your bishop, so that this could happen, so that that square could be deprived, that square could be deprived, and then there's a check. So we have to remember that. Alright, let's get into some of our puzzles now. So now we can do some puzzles and get some puzzles. Okay. Oops. Hold on, I gotta get the puzzles up and going. Okay. Let's see. So what do we got here? Okay, guys, I will be right back. I'm going to leave you with this puzzle. I'll be right back. You guys have any ideas about what you want to move here? What do you guys taking a look while I was gone, so that we can solve this and get us some good points. We gotta love it. Okay, let's see here. This bishop moved here. What did it leave behind? Well, it did leave behind that. It also blocked an exit point for the queen. Mainly it left the defense of the king, so. But it did do one thing, it pinned our bishop. I mean our knight, sorry, not our bishop. Let's see here. It also put itself on an attack for the queen. So if we could draw the queen away, if the queen has to, there is no way. So if we played here, trying to see, because if we played here, he's got to take there. Then we're going to take back with our queen, and if he takes here, actually he can't take there, my bad. If he takes here, then we have a check. Very, very interesting. So a3 is an idea. Bishop takes. Let's say he stays in tune with that. Or maybe in tune with here. He might just go straight up. So here, there, straight up to keep eye on here. At that point, we could actually take there with the rook. Make the queen have to move. Kind of liking that now more than anything, because there's really, he has only really one move to play. And that's forcing, and after that he can't take there because of a check, and then if he moves over here, or we could play there, queen back down. What do you guys think? I'm thinking it's potentially that. Calculated a lot of lines. See, the problem with this bishop being here is it's all reliant upon the protection of the queen. So if we can draw the queen away, we can actually win this. And also by drawing it away, we can bring our other queen in and be drawing this away. So potentially we could play there. So let's see, we play here, here. Oh, if he takes there, then we actually take here, and I think there's no way to avoid checkmate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this has to be the move. So if we play queen takes bishop, we're up a whole piece at that point. You play here. We take there. If you check there, we can just move back. And we still have enough protection along here. And we have our knight, so we'd be up a whole piece at that point. Yeah. There we go. Boom, baby. I want to check this line out, though. Yeah, I believe that's mate and 8 and 6. So, and if he plays up here, yep, our line was correct with that. So we actually win a. And he plays here, and then we double up. We can. Oh, yeah, that was an idea I was thinking. That if he moves over here, now we're infiltrating. And if he pushes there, we actually take. If the rook attacks there, you can actually double up at this point or triple up. We're still up a piece, so I like that idea. Okay, let's see. What did this move do for the position? What drawback was that move? Okay. This pawn was once guarding here and here. This is a check. It's also reliant totally upon this rook. So we potentially have a fork here. So rook takes knight. Pawn takes. Check. King moves. Then we take. King takes. We're equal, so we don't want to do that. Let's see here. Trying to see, is there anything else that could be played here? What's the drawback to that? Trying to see, is this the only move though? Is that the only move that actually makes practical sense in the position? Because it wins a rook. But is it worth giving up that for Trying to see if there's anything else that's a drawback to that move. Because if we play here, he moves here, we take, king takes. We can actually play rook here, bishop takes. We could take the knight because the rook pins the pawn to the king. So we'd be up in exchange at that point. Yeah, I believe that's the best. So they went right away for that. Excuse me. Let's see here. There's that there, which then if the rook takes, let me see here. Trying to see if it's beneficial for us actually to take here, takes, and then we can actually play knight f5 with a dual threat on there and there, so they'd have to come back there. There's also rook e3. Trying to see, trying to think. We'd be up a whole and then here we'd actually be up a whole piece, or here, sorry. He could be dominating us though with that, so yikes. So he'd probably have to play here. We played there. He takes. We take. We're up in exchange. We check. If the king moves there, then we can actually play rook takes h4. Take there, take here, there. But he'll just take back with the rook, so if we come here, he'll just take back with the rook. Is that enough compensation, though? Drat, this is very, we have here. We could play that, and then if rook takes, then we can't take back in time because he has that threat. So here. Yeah, so we can't do that. I'm thinking just move the rook over. I don't really see anything wrong with that. And then we could, at the right time, play there and win a pawn. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Oh. Wow. Why doesn't that one work? Let me see if it's a draw. Okay. So I had the right idea. Snap. Should have went with it. Let's see here. What's the idea with that moving to here? We can actually take there. There we go. If you guys have any ideas, I'm more than willing to go over them. Or if you have any games you're interested in going over, we'll go over those as well. Okay. Let's see here. What'd that give up? I actually put it on pre, so that bishop's on pre. So if we played here, you could try moving there. But then we play there. It comes back there, we play there. If it comes here, we then take the bishop, we take the knight. So here, if it comes back there, here, it comes back there. We play here. He can't go here, here, or here, so he's got to go there. Then we fork the two pieces. He'll take there, we'll take there. And then the knight has to move this way to here, then we drop the fork on him. Okay, so that's the move there. And we win that. Boom, baby. Okay. Okay, okay. This he won a pawn here. But what did it leave behind? It left behind mate. But actually, not... Well... Let's see here. It left behind this square. So the queen's going to have to actually come over here. Then after takes, knight takes. So I think we win a piece in this scenario. Otherwise he gets mated. So here, 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 and there, and we win a piece. Oh, snap. Let's see, can't we just take there, and then it takes here, and then we take? Doesn't that work the same? I guess it gives you a slight advantage. I don't know. I think I would just... I don't really like that. I don't like that move. I like this best. Just neutralize, and if he plays over here, just bring your king in. I don't know. I guess you could say that he has compensation for maybe the 2 pawns. Go figure. It's not that much of a difference, but it's, I guess, what the computer wants. Kind of maybe to keep the tension, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a human move. But we did good, so I'm not too upset about that. We solved it all the way to that part. Let's see what we got here. So okay, so this move left behind this knight, this defense, also there. So the idea is to play here and guard the rook. So that's actually what his idea is. That's why he played this. Was trying to trade down to where he has 2 bishops versus a lone rook. But let's see if we have anything that could benefit us in any way. I do potentially see there. Then if that's played, we could check here. So we're check. Well, let's see. We actually have that. Let's see here. 1, 1, takes, there. And you can't stop it because the pawn's here. You can't stop it there. So this is the move. Let me see here. So here, there, there, there. So if we played here, he takes there, we play here. If he moves there, we queen. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pawn push. Let's see here. What's the drawback to this? Just think what the drawback is. Okay. Oh, it's right on the... It's blocking this pin, so that's a potential idea. I also gave up these squares too, so... Trying to see if that isn't... That might potentially be an idea too. But I'm just concerned about that. And then that neutralizes our idea. Because then if we try it here, he actually could play knight takes, and then pawn takes, then bishop, and then no, we don't want that. No, 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 no. Trying to see if bishop queen here isn't an idea. Does he really have anything after it takes? He does, though, if we play here, have that. So that kind of neutralizes that idea, because then it protects the bishop. Excuse me. Let me see here. Boy, I am so puzzled on this one. Let me see here. This is an interesting one. Trying to see what the drawback is. Potentially, it might be that. And then we're threatening here. If we played here, you could just take there. That takes, but we do have a bishop. But no, the knight takes. So that's not part of the equation then. Somehow we have to undermine this here. Thinking something like that, but then if he plays back there, what really have we accomplished? So you guys have any ideas? Anybody? 'Cause I'm like totally puzzled here. I'll be right back. You guys take a look at this. I'll be right back. And see if you can find anything and put it in the message box here and we'll go over it. So don't be afraid to put anything in. I'm friendly, okay? Oh, you're thinking? Okay, that's good. It's always good because, let's see here. me see. I'm thinking that potentially it might be if bishop takes, and we have queen there, but then pawn push. Then we could take there. Let's see. See here, here, here. There. There. If it takes there. So here, here. There. And then once the queen's here and the queen's there, there is a check. It goes over, and there's check. It's there. Yeah, but he does have that though. Guess we could check, then play king over. We could sacrifice too, so there, it's always in the air for a sacrifice. Yeah, let's try that. Bishop takes, so we were right on that. If he takes here, okay, so I was thinking something like this, because, well, then we can castle queenside, I believe. Yeah, you can actually castle queenside, and then if it takes here, I think we have mate, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, so we got that. Good find there, because that was like really interesting for sure. For sure. It kind of reminds me of the Immortal game that was actually played when the player sacrificed everything and still had mate. See, we have to remember, chess is about checkmate, not about material. So sometimes you just have to give up material to win, and that's one thing that's hard for the young players, but they're starting to get it now. That it's about checkmate. So let's see here. What did he leave behind here? Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let's see. We do win a rook, so if we played here and he tried forking there, we can actually take there. And if he blocks, then we take there. Then if he blocks there, we mate. So that looks like a potential winning idea. And then if he plays there to kind of cement that, we have to keep the pressure on. He's one move away from castling. So we have to keep the tension and the attack. So after there, he's going to push. So here, there, what do we do now? We could play here. And if he tries this, we just bring our bishop back, our queen back attacking, and the queen's under attack. So if he plays there, then we can actually bring our rook over, and I believe the knight is trapped at that point. So I believe the queen queen e3, queen f3, sorry. Oh. Yeah. My teacher told me that you can't actually judge rating of players because it comes with the experience in getting better. So wait a second. Holy ravioli! You mean that's just the move? You're kidding me. G3 is the winning move. Wow. That's the winning move, G3. That attacks the queen and removes the defense. You can't go there because of here. So that's taken, that's taken. So these points would be taken. There's no point to defend the knight. I was wrong. G3 is the winning combo. So he only has at that point these two squares to go to. And we win a knight at that point. I don't see any flaws, because then you'd have to actually take there, and we could then at that point take, I don't know if we want to take away, because that then there'd be check. Maybe taking towards would be the best. Yeah, I like that. Now we have to decide which way do we want to take. I thought they might do this to us. Oh, a 1200 player. Well, I would, oh, okay. Well, what you should do is study, tactics are really big, and if you, there's like a teacher named, Jeremy Silman. There's a person who, is on YouTube. His name is, I forgot his YouTube account thing is called Backyard Chess Professor. He does a lot of Jeremy Silman's ideas. And so, what he talks about, Jeremy Silman, is about imbalances and principles. So tactics are good, and learning how the pieces actually work together. And endgame, mainly, I would say one area that is always neglected in chess is the endgame. You can win, sometimes even draw, and get a draw in a losing position because you know your endgame. So I'd probably say tactics, endgame, and look into on YouTube. There's St. Louis Chess Club has some really good YouTubes, and then Backyard Chess Professor is also really good for information. And if you have it's a little spendy, and if you like books, there's Jeremy Silman has an endgame course. He also has a reassess your chess. He has Amateur's Mind. He has strategies and strategy. He also did one with Yazzer. I forgot the name of it. It's like a tactic one. So Jeremy, I'd say tactics. Do some online tapes for YouTube is really good. It helped me. And just you got to spend time with the information. That's just all it is. There's no quick and easy way to get better in chess. It's day after day after day of studies. So I hope that helps. That's kind of the best advice that I really have, because I'm still improving right alongside with you guys. So that's what I'm using at this moment, and it's helping me with tactics, understanding. So, and there's also, I think, one, Ponafini has one as well. There's one that he does. There's a lot of books out there for stuff, but I'd probably say Endgame, Tactics, and YouTube has a lot of good ones on there. But remember, there is such a thing as information overload. So just focus down. Openings, you might want to look into, if you're interested in an opening for black. The French is really good. It is a really good opening if you're thinking about openings. And then the London system is really flexible for white if you're looking for an opening. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I'm glad you're getting into chess. It's a great game to get into. Helps us use the mind the Lord's given us. So that's really cool. I'm here to help. And you're always welcome to put in on puzzles, so don't ever feel afraid. And if you have a game that you want to go over we'll go over it and we'll analyze it, and that's also a good thing to go over if you have like a game that you played and it kind of either win, draw, or loss. You can go over it with a computer, and that helps you too. But you don't really I try not to be reliant too much on the engines, because sometimes the engine lines, I've actually put an engine line in and it actually said it was going to be one thing, but it actually turned out to be a worse line than the one that I thought. So yeah, let's see here. I gotta think, which way do we want to take? Because if we take towards the center, we're either way we're attacking the queen. This way we open up an attack there. Um, hmm. Oh, not a problem. Post it into, and we'll go over it. Not a problem. Let's see, if we take here, that attacks the queen, so the queen would have only 2 points to go to. Actually, 1 at that point. We're so close to trapping the queen. Yeah, if you post it into the page here, I can click on it, and then it'll take me to, and it'll pull up your game if you are doing, if you did it on ilchess.org. I'm sorry, lichess.org. And then we can go over it. Do do do. Guess that takes away that point. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Man, so I take it away. Okay, not a problem. Snap. Boy, that's a interesting for sure. Uh-oh, what did I miss here? Okay, we got that, which threatens mate, but he'll castle kingside. This is... Oh, wait a second. I could just bring a rook, can't I? Just bring a rook up. And I think the queen's trapped at that point. Yeah. There we go. What happens if he goes up here? I'm going to take a look at that. Here. Castles. So what's here? Okay. If he takes there, then we actually, I think we have either that or that. And we win there. I also want to see why this takes is wrong. Oh, oh, I gotcha. Then we don't have that. Okay. Okay, I see that now. So it likes this best. Okay. So you castle. And the bishop comes. Excuse me. Let's see here. Play there. Place there. Take there. Play here. I can't take there, so we have to delete. Can't delete that. So. Let's see what I got here. Okie dokie. So how do I do this? Let me see. Hold on, let me see if I can access the PGN file. Nope. Well, maybe. No, I don't think I can. We'll give it a shot. I think I can go over this here. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah. Ooh. What's usually played is I don't know how to. Let's see here. Analyze, share. What you usually play is C3. Oh, you're black. Okay. Well, white usually plays C3 if he's going to hold the position. That's kind of a different. It's not the best line, because then the only thing to hold this pawn for white is actually F4. So that's kind of a different line for sure. Now, yeah, everything's going good. You're okay. Knight. Well, here I'd probably have played bishop E7 right here. Bishop E7. Let me see if I. Yeah, I'd probably play bishop E7, and let me see. If he takes, then you can actually maybe you could have actually played. No, I was thinking something like knight F5, but I don't think that's. Because Simon Williams, Grandmaster, yeah, you're black. I got it, yeah, because this is that's a good spot for the bishop to be, because you want to get your bishop outside the pawn chain. So here, if he takes, excuse me, you take here, you're attacking the queen, the bishop. So yeah, A5, A6 works too. Yeah, that's good. So far, so good. Castles, castles. B5's not bad. Not bad. Usually, what you play though in the French is there's two breaks. I don't have the ability of doing arrows. I usually have it on my chess, so I'm gonna do my best kind of to call out the squares. You want to. There's two breaks for white in the French. C5 and F6. Those are the two breaks. If you can get those in, you're winning. And also, if you can break the center, which is white's strong center on D4 and E5, if you can break that and get these pawns out and you control it, you're winning for in the French too. So that's why in this scenario, B5 is not a bad move. You more likely would want to play F6, and because you're castled, and if he takes, you can take back with the bishop. Then you have a very strong center. B5 is not bad. It's F6 is just more towards the French line. Bishop, okay, B4, not bad. Okay. Queen up, not bad. Takes, okay, takes. C5. Okay, yeah. See, that's the problem with taking. Kind of you re-solidified his center, and you don't really want to do that. Potentially bishop C7 probably would have been better in this scenario. because even if he took with the knight, you can take back with the queen, and then your queen's attacking c3, and the bishop that's on c7 is attacking e5, so you have a double attack going, and you're going to win one of these pawns. He can't hold both. He'd probably play like knight f3, and then your queen would take this pawn here, so yeah, you'd be up a pawn. You just, whatever you do in the French, you do not want to strengthen his center, because if white can get his center strengthened like this, he's got a huge bind on black, and it makes your bishops really hard to get out. Like the light square bishop now is a bad bishop. It really doesn't have any points, so the only break you would have trying to somehow get counterplay would be f6 would be your best option for a break, and to kind of put some cramping on these center squares. c6. That's actually not the best move. It's an okay move, but like f6 is best. So just remember, if you get in a situation like this, remember you always have your friendly f6 pawn push, especially when his pieces are so uncoordinated. You also have a potential maybe infiltration point of a2 with your rook, so you're actually not doing bad. I kind of see your idea of sliding over, coming down. It's not a bad idea. Knight b. Okay, now right here would be the perfect time to go for the break, because all of his pieces are over here. f6 would be a perfect right now. Bishop. Okay. 1 second. So a5. Bishop takes knight, I believe, would have kind of cleared up a lot of your sitch. Bishop takes the knight, pawn takes knight, and then rook takes pawn, and then now you would have the mobility of the b5 pawn to b4, and that would free up your light square bishop and make it a good bishop again. Then you'd have all this scope here, so bishop takes a5, b takes a5, and rook takes a5. And if the queen tries to attack your rook, you always have queen to a6 guarding it. So, or you can just even retreat it back if need be. There's really no big problem. This works too. That's surprising. He actually did a really bad. That's not a very good idea for white. You don't want to trade. He has a stellar knight. What he should have played is bishop takes b6, queen takes b6, and this knight is then fortified. And you then can bring your queen. He can bring his queen and rook to c1 over, and then he's going to have a pretty massive of an attack, especially in a close game. Knights are dominators. They dominate everything. Knight takes. So he kind of blew it there. Okay. Potentially rook to c. Rook c8 would probably have been a better idea, because then what would have happened is, I believe the queen is trapped. Almost trapped. The only move that she has is here. And then you can bring your rook up here. Actually, no, you can't, because that would be check. So you come over here, you come there. Let's see here. That's interesting. Right now, this would actually have been a rook to c4 is actually winning. That's dominating. That's actually the win. Let's see, here, there. I think probably, let me see. You probably should have moved your king up here. This position is called a, in Jeremy Silman's endgame book, it's called a trebuchet, which means you have to actually, there's something called opposition. So if you would have went e7 with your king, instead of pushing, he would have tried to go to actually maybe not e7, maybe d, because if you go d7, he'll try to go to c5, and then you go, no, you gotta be careful there because he has the opposition. Well, no, that actually gives you time then at that point because you'll have to come up. Then you could push these two pawns. Yeah, I think this if it's your turn, d7 is king d7, king c5, and then you can play king to e6. If he tries to come up to like c6, then you can go g5 and you're winning. But I don't know. I might have tried to potentially. Man, this is a tough one here. I think this might still be drawn. I'm not sure. I think this still is drawn because what you can do, you can bring your king over, and if he pushes up, check. You come over here. If he comes in there, you take. And then if he takes here, you come here. If he takes there, you come there. Yeah, it's a draw. And if he comes here, there, you made it to the drawing square. You have to sacrifice. You have to come over here, just nab this pawn, give up these two pawns, and get your king to h8. It would have been a draw. You would, otherwise, you win because what would happen is you would come over to e6. He would push d5. He would go king f5. Yeah. And then you would go d6. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's see. Here, there, d6, king f5. King takes d5. King takes g5. King e6. King takes h5. King f7. King h6. King g8. Pawn push, and then you made it king h8. Yeah, it's a draw. There's only a couple points. Let's see. Where's the rook move? Okay. If rather than this king move, I say rook here is good. Rook to c7. Let me see. What else? Let's see here. Back after this. Let's get everything equalized down. Let's see if I was to say, okay, there. Rather than pawn push, probably either E7. It doesn't really matter if it's D7 or E7. You kind of just want to hold on to this pawn, and these babies are your pride and joy. Yeah. So. Oh, you mean back here? Let me see. I'm thinking white does win in this. Well, no, it's still a draw. I think it's drawn either way. Yeah, I kind of see. Yeah, it's drawn either way. Yeah, because even if you try to step off the diagonal, go here, he'll push. Yeah, it's a draw. Yeah. There you go. So, I'm glad that was helpful. Well, guys, I'm gonna log off for the night, but I appreciate. Thank you for sharing that game. Just remember, in the French, there's two breaks, C5 and S6. That's really good, and try to break the center open. Of course, you probably have watched some DVDs on that. That's the whole thing. When white tries to fortify the center, yeah. So, if you guys do you guys have any other questions on any of the puzzles prior that you want to go over real quick before I log? Economy, do you have any puzzles that you want to go over? Anything? Well, okay, with that, then I will say adieu. Guys, remember, keep studying chess. It's every day, day after day after day of studying, okay? And it's just, maybe 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but just remember, just keep studying, okay? You can't miss a day. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, just doing maybe 7 or 8 tactics, or 3 or 4, just remember to do your tactics. And if you can, there's some end games. Go over your end games. End games are very important, and because it'll show you all the nuances on how to handle the endgame position. So, and remember, there's always a plan in the position. You just have to find it, and only go back to learn, because a loss is only a loss if you don't learn from it. And remember, as Wesley, oh yeah, I want to tell you, if you guys are interested, there's the U.S. Championship that's going to be on tomorrow as well. So if you guys want to tune in to that and watch, it's on YouTube. Okay, but with that, it's Wesley So says, or the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a great evening, morning, or night. And I'll be back, so be blessed. And keep doing chess, guys. You're doing great. Bye-bye.